Hey VC, it's Glen Kellaway from the basement. How you guys doing? It is Tuesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Trenton, Ontario. We had snow on Sunday. Like, we got about 2 inches of snow. It's gross. I frickin' hate snow. And it stayed. It's still on the ground. Ugh. Anyway, I've had a pretty exciting time over the last few days. So, Saturday, it's my wife's birthday this week. So, happy birthday, honey. I love you. Um, Saturday we went to my daughter's place and had a little bit of a small family gathering. And while we were there, she lives in Oshawa, Ontario. There's a record store up the street, so I went there and I picked up some albums. Then I had to go back that way today because my wife had a dentist appointment. Stopped at this other place. It's actually a used CD store and video games and stuff, but they have a section where this guy comes in every week and brings all these used albums in. And I went there today, and they had a ton of albums, and I picked up a few albums today too. So I got a lot of vinyl finds to talk about. But most importantly, I got some VCLT today, and I am so excited. From Lisa Tedesco. If you guys aren't subscribed to Lisa's channel, please do so. She's one of the nicest people, if not the nicest person in the frickin' VC. We've become fast friends, and I just love her to death. She's amazing, and I found out she's really generous. So I wanted to show you what came. First of all, I've been looking for this album on vinyl for a while now. I only have it on CD. I have an autographed CD, cover of it I think I've shown before. Mr. Neil Young. Everybody knows this is nowhere. For some reason, this is a hard album to find used. But Lisa knew I was after it, and she sent it to me, and I could not be more excited. Not only that, she sent it in a MoFi sleeve too. Like, geez, I owe her $3 for the MoFi sleeve, I think. Reprise Records. I am so excited to play this. I love this album so much. Lisa, thank you. She didn't just send the album though. She sent a whole bunch of CDs too, which I'm overwhelmed by how generous she was, and I appreciate it more than I can ever say. So let's go through some of these. Mamas and Papas, one of my favorite bands from the 60s. Mamas and Papas Greatest Hits. I have a comp, Mamas and Papas comp, but I don't have this one. It's on MCA Records, and it has every song you'd want to hear, that's for sure, and then a few that I'm not even that familiar with. No Salt on Her Tail, Glad to Be Unhappy, version of Twist and Shout, Safe in My Garden, and I think they're the ones that I'm not familiar with. Mamas and Papa's Greatest Hits. I've never seen this comp before. I'm excited to play it. I thank you very much for that. Like I said, it has a nice home here because I am a fan. I'm not sure if you knew that I was a big Mamas and Papas fan. Another album that I used to have years ago when it came out, and I don't have it, is Tracy Chapman's debut with Fast Cars on it, and that was a really nice album. I'm really looking forward to is refamiliarizing yourself a word? It is now. I'm going to refamiliarize myself with this. Awesome. Dave Matthews. Used to be a huge Dave Matthews fan too, and haven't listened to him for a while. I have the only Dave Matthews album I have now is Under the Table and Dreaming. So now I have Crash. Crash into me. Great. Can't beat Dave Matthews. Guy's amazing. Blues guy, so this is somebody I'm a big fan of and don't have this album either. Keb Mo. Keb Mo, Just Like You. I saw Keb a couple times live. I saw him at the Toronto Jazz Festival once. He was awesome. And then we drove to Cleveland to see a show at some kind of an amphitheater about a half an hour outside of Cleveland. I have no idea where the hell it was. Jackson Browne, Steve Earle, and Keb Mo. What a lineup. It's a great show. So Keb Mo, thank you for that. Natalie Merchant. I love Natalie Merchant, and I don't have this album. Ophelia. Looking forward to hearing this. That's great. And then two more here that I have. Oh, actually three that I have. So I'm going to probably pass these on to someone. The great Nora Jones, who's besides Janis Joplin's my favorite female singer. Nora's second. So this is Nora's album, Feels Like Home. I'm not sure. I gotta check and see. Maybe I don't have this one. This is one I might not have. Her debut album, which is awesome. Come Away With Me. I do have that, but that's good. And Natalie Merchant, Tiger Lily, which is a really good freaking album. I have that. So it's only two really that I think I may have doubles of, and I'll find somebody to share these with. Lisa, thank you. One other thing, more VC business. Lisa and I both have gone on a bass guitar journey. I picked up the bass guitar about 4 years ago because as a guy who really was into rock but played a banjo, I always secretly wanted to rock out when I was playing in bluegrass and country rock bands. And so I picked up the bass about 4 years ago. Thought, that was a couple of years before my retirement, thought I'm going to rock out and put a band together, and which I did, and had a band going for a year or so, and left it because of personal issues with band members, and never really got anything going anymore. But I fell in love with the bass guitar, and it was quite a journey, and we got a lot to talk about when it comes to the bass. So look forward to that. I think the first video will be sometime next week. I think we're going to do like 3 or 4 installments. We got a lot to say. It's going to be fun. Lisa, I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be on Lisa's channel, by the way. Lisa Tedesco. 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 Lisa Tedesco. That's Lisa, Lisa, space Tedesco. Tedesco. Please subscribe to her channel and watch her videos. She sent me a note. You never know if you should keep these private or not, but it's nothing too dirty, so I can read it, I think. Thank you for being such a wonderful and supportive VC friend. Sorry you had to wait so long for this. I guess it took her a couple of weeks to get it out the door. I hope you enjoy. Please pass along anything you don't want. Your friend Lisa. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm absolutely touched by all of that. Amazing. So let's get on with my vinyl finds. So on Saturday, as I said, I went to Cops Records, Toronto. Found some stuff that's been on my want list for pretty good prices. I don't mind sharing the prices I paid because I would love if people think, yeah, you paid too much for that, you idiot, or hey, that was a great deal. Let me know. Rolling Stones album that I didn't have in my collection that I wanted, and really never paid much attention to this album, Emotional Rescue. I got home and played it. I really freaking like it. I like every song on this album. This is a great freaking record. $9.99, by the way, in mint condition. Not even a crackle. Not even a crackle. Really pleased with that one. Next, a band I did a video on a couple of weeks ago. Procol Harum, Home. This is a great album, man. Whiskey Train, like Robin Trower really shines on this album. Great guitar album if you're into like more rock and Procol Harum rather than proggy Procol Harum. But it also has like Waylon Stories on it, which was on Live with Edmonton Symphony. And yeah, just great album. I paid $9.99 for that one, too. Okay, next. Trying to fill in my Moody Blues collection. Especially the early stuff. I have In Search of the Lost Chord, and I had in The Threshold of a Dream. So I found To Our Children's Children, Durham Label, VG Plus condition. A couple little crackles on it, but I haven't washed it yet, so I'm going to do that. Or cleaned it, washed it. $3.99, $3.99. Pretty happy about that. Okay, then the other Moody Blues album, Question of Balance. This one always reminds me of Threshold of a Dream. They seem like they have the same kind of ambiance and same, I don't know, thing going on. What's going on with this now? It is on Durham label too, I'm sure, or London Records. $3.99. Pretty damn good. Last but not least, my favorite Elvis Costello album. I love the first three albums. My Aim is True, This Year's Model, and Armed Forces are all so freaking good. But this is Armed Forces. It's got Oliver's Army on it. It's got What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. Elvis's great cover of that song. Armed Forces. Columbia. Now, it says $9.99 on here, but when I went up to check out, the guy says to me, "Hey, that's coming up as $7.99." So I went, okay, $7.99. So $7.99 for Armed Forces. Now today, my wife had to go for a dentist appointment in Bowmanville, Ontario, which is close to Oshawa, and there's a used CD store called Deja Vu Discs in Oshawa, and like I said, they have this deal with some guy who's a record guy, and he comes in and he loads their front shelves up with records, and supposedly their thing is that the guy comes and changes them out every week, so you can go back every week and find different stuff. I have totally avoided looking at records at this place for some reason. I just go in and I look at the CDs and I think, it's probably just a bunch of junk. But a couple of weeks ago I was in there and I didn't have much time, and I started looking through records and I found like 2 or 3, and I went, wow, there's some good titles in here. I got to come back when I get a chance. So today I had a chance while my wife was getting her teeth looked at and cleaned and all that stuff, and I bought 6 albums. So all the albums in there are $6.99, no matter which one you buy, what condition they're in. So you got to really watch, because some of the albums, they had some great titles in there that were scratched, and unfortunately, but I found 6 albums that are in excellent shape, and some are really on my want list, which is cool. My favorite guitar player, Ry Cooder. This is my favorite Ry Cooder album. I don't have it on vinyl. Paradise and Lunch. So pleased to get this. Reprise. Reprise label. Like I said, now these records need cleaning. You can see a bit of dirt on them and stuff, but not a scratch. I can't see a scratch on them. So I'm really impressed by that. So that was like a big find for me. I was like so excited. That's the best one of the bunch for me. I bought this because I hear it sounds wonderful, and I don't have any Peter, Paul, and Mary. So greatest hits. I'm hearing this is a really nice sounding record. Again, in awesome condition. Warner Brothers. It's got Peter, Paul, and Mary were a great folk band, and they did a lot of great songs. This album has, there's the front and the back, Blowing in the Wind, Too Much of Nothing, Lemon Tree, Stew Ball, Early Morning Rain, great Gordon Lightfoot song, 500 Miles, I Dig Rock and Roll Music, that was a cool song, Leaving on a Jet Plane, Puff the Magic Dragon, For Loving Me, another great Gordon Lightfoot song, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, another Dylan song, Pete Seeger, If I Had a Hammer, and Day Is Done. Really looking forward to hearing that album. And what else have I got here? A few more. I don't have any Love and Spoonful on vinyl. I got their first 4 albums on CD. So I got a best of the Love and Spoonful. How can you go wrong with these guys? They were a friggin' hit machine. You can pause that and take a look at those songs. They were just an amazing folk rock band. Again, look at You pull that out, it looks like it's like brand new. It looks like someone just pulled it out of the thing. It's in great shape. Birchmount Records? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I'm happy. What else? I got 3 more. I'm not gonna put them away. Be here for another half an hour. Bluegrass guy. Elliot Cruz is gonna love this. David Grisman. Dog Jazz. David Grisman. Dog Grass. One side is, how are they going to do this? Featuring the David Grisman Quartet and special guests. 14 Miles to Barstow, Swamp Dog, Doggy Mountain Breakdown, and Wayfaring Stranger. Happy Birthday Bill Monroe, and Doggrass Opus 12. And on this side, that's the bluegrass side. And on the Doggrass side, David Grisman Quartet featuring special guests. Does it say who they might be? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Warner Brothers. I'm really looking forward to hearing this. There's David with Stefan Grappelli. The David Grisman Quintet toured with Stefan Grappelli back in the 70s sometime, I'm going to say late 70s. And David Grisman's band consisted of Mark O'Connor and I think Tony Rice was in the band then. David, I forget who the bass player was in that, but anyway, they were amazing. They did put out a live album with Stefan Grappelli, which if you get a chance to hear it, it's fantastic. I saw them on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show, and it was like towards the end of the show, and Johnny says, yeah, we'd like to present David Grisman Quartet with Stefan Grappelli. They came out and played so freaking well. They blew everybody away. I never saw Johnny do this before, but he broke for a commercial, then he came back and, you know, usually do his end thing and say goodnight and all that stuff. He says, I'm going straight to the band. We're just going to let the band play out the rest of the show. And they played like for another couple of minutes or whatever till the show ended. Friggin' one of the best TV performances I ever saw. There's Mr. Grisman with Earl Scruggs. Who else is on here? Tony Rice is on here. Jerry Douglas is on here. Who else? Mike Marshall and Daryl Anger, 2 great violin players. And what's on the other side? So, Tommy Newsom. Speaking of Johnny Carson show, Tommy Newsom. He would be the guy standing in when Doc Severinsen couldn't make it. There's Tommy there. Great. This is going to be a friggin' awesome album. Awesome. This one's for Bobby Gass. Toronto in the 60s was a haven for R&B, one of the R&B capitals of the world. All R&B bands would come up here. They had some clubs on Yonge Street, which is the big street in Toronto. The Le Coq d'Or, the Colonial, the Hawk's Nest, which Ronnie Hawkins owned. There's probably a few more that I can't remember the names of them. But anyway, R&B ruled the city. Local bands like Luke and the Apostles, and a big band that I don't know if they made it stateside or not, but incredible band, Mandela. Bobby, if you're watching this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Their first hit was a song called Opportunity. George Oliver was the singer. Friggin' amazing. Dominic Troiano, who ended up playing with the Guess Who, and I think with a version of James Gang. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. He was a great guitar player. But they also had a hit called Love-itis. So this is some kind of a comp. It's Love-itis is the first song on it. Opportunities on here. I am dying to hear this. This is going to bring back memories for sure. Who's on here? So, yeah, it's the 2 versions of the band. The first, George Oliver, lead vocals, Dominic Troiano on guitar. And then the second version, George Oliver had left. He did his own R&B thing. Roy Kenner was the lead vocalist, and Dominic Triano stayed in the band. There's the lineup of the band for any people from Toronto who want to check that out. If you are from Canada, from Toronto especially, and grew up in our era of the 60s, you know Mandela. That is really exciting to find. Really exciting. Okay, adding to my McCartney collection. Wings at the Speed of Sound. Again, in like pristine condition. Look at that cover. I mean, it's just like brand new. Looks brand new. Wings at the Speed of Sound. Beautiful. And I got one more. This is a band that doesn't get much love on the VC, but they're a great, great band. Somebody just did a video on them last week, and you think I can recall who it was? It was one of our British friends. I can't think. I thought it was somebody from Britain. Oh man, I'm sorry. I apologize. But if you're watching, you'll be excited I got this. Bebop Deluxe. Live at the Air Age. This is a great rockin' album, man. These guys were good. Bill Nelson, the guitar player, phenomenal. It's a double album. This comes in a single. It's not a gatefold. They both just come in the thing. Amazing. So you can see how I'm pretty pumped. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of vinyl cleaning to do, a lot of listening to do. One more bit of housekeeping before I go. I keep forgetting to do this live on a video. I've sent the messages and commented and stuff, but Robert Hagerman, my bestest friend on the planet, is celebrating his first anniversary on the VC. So Robert, I just want to let you know that I love you so much, and I appreciate your friendship more than anything. Congratulations, you've done an amazing, amazing job. You know, Robert and I kind of fuss over sometimes. We fuss over our subscribers and go, how come it's not growing? How come it's not growing? But you know what? If you talk to either of us when we started this, like I'll be a year in March, you know, that we had like 250, 275, 300, 325 people subscribing to watch what we do, we would be thrilled and over the moon. So to go, geez, why isn't my channel growing as quickly as I'd like it to? I think we've done phenomenally well. I'm proud of what you've done, Robert. I love your channel, and you're an awesome guy. So please, if you're not a subscriber to Robert's on My Turntable, please do so. Peace and love, everybody. Take care.